Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. This is Career Mode episode number 56. Quick news updates. Tour de Suisse has ended with Nairo Quintana on top, Tom Dumoulin, Ivan Sosa wrapping up the podium. That's the final stage. Overall, Quintana takes the win over Bardet and Dumoulin. And then Arkea Samsic are going to be replaced by Liquigas, making a return to the peloton. Bretagne Classic, 10 teams have put in a request for invite. 6 will get a wild card. Euro Eyes Classics of Hamburg, we, along with Samsic and Vital Concept, have gained a bid, so we will be partaking in that one. Now we are on to the National Championship time trials. First off is Italy, and it's a 50-kilometer race with almost all of it climbing. I mean, we're looking at a near 20-kilometer climb to start, and then another 16-kilometer climb in between. Good mountain hills rating, good time trial rating for Felci. I'm not going to send the doctor with him, though. We'll save that for somebody else where there's more than one rider. There's going to be a lot of races today. But let's go ahead and head into this ride for Felci. Let's see what he can do. He's looking at a +1 race day condition. His fitness peak is nearly there. He is probably 1 day away. I would imagine that his racing today will trigger his fitness peak. So he's just a day shy of a +2. Not on the top 10 favorites, though. So better climbers have gone a little bit higher. In fact, they're not even showing anybody's time trial ability here. It's mountain, hill, and resistance that are determining the winners, because nearly all of this is either uphill or downhill. Time trial waiting not going to have much of an impact of any sort today, so this really does come down to how well these guys can climb. Alright, so Felci sets off here, and this stage is going to be intense. It's really hard to judge how much effort is going to be necessary, but we're going to try a 70 here for Felci. Massive climbs to come. You can see huge time gaps right now. Current leader is Pozzovivo, 4 minutes clear of Vendram, 6 clear of Raggio and Zardini. Zaccati is 7. Antonio Nibali is 7. 8, 9, and on to 10 minutes. It's already 16-minute gap just to 20th place. But we'll watch the first one and we'll see how we're looking. We are definitely going to want to be at a deficit, but not a major deficit. And already coming behind me, Tecchio is going much quicker than we are. I think I need to step this up if we're going to have any chance today. So Gianfranco Felci, 72 as a climber, 73 as a hills guy. Resistance is a 72, and his time trial is a 72. So we're kind of right about a 72 across the board. So what will a 72 do in this climb? Well, we're still really only on the base of the climb. And it looks like energy-wise we're staying about level, which is okay, but we could go harder and faster, and we're going to need to go harder and faster if we're going to do any more. So we're going to speed up a little bit as Fideli goes by. Let's see, Fideli, can I get Fideli's ratings? Yeah, he's a 71 mountain, so he's similar to us. We should be pushing a pace close to what he's doing. So we're going to step Felci up to a 77 now. And see, he's not in any sort of deficit right now. So we're about 8 kilometers into this climb. We should be generating a little bit of a deficit, because the downhill will recover a lot of what we're spending here. I do know that some of these guys are going to be going way too hard, way too soon. They're going to run out of energy way before the end and lose a ton of time in that third sector. Right now, first sector, it's Pozzovivo, minute 45 clear of Caruso. That's the time we're looking at is 1 hour At 2 minutes just through that first sector, and we're heading into gravel here in a little bit. Now you can see we are getting a bit of a deficit, and we're keeping pace with this guy. But I think we could definitely handle more of a deficit than we are. So we're going to speed up for now. It is going to increase that deficit, and we're starting to come back at this guy a bit. 10% gradient through here. 7K to go on this first climb. And we're slowly pulling that guy back. But we are saving a lot of energy for that final climb. We were losing a lot of time though early on as the first guy got by, as the second guy got there. Now that we have recovered that tempo back to where he was. See how much of a difference that makes later on. One little flat section in the middle, but otherwise it's going to be all arrow tuck descending. Our downhill is a 72 today as well, so we're really balanced across the board with this 72. Right now though, I think we're way down on time, at least currently. So we'll see what we can do going forward to pull back some time and improve our position as we go over the top. 9.5 minutes behind in 43rd position. Second check, it's still Pozzovivo and Caruso with the quickest times. Time gaps get a little bit bigger on the descent, but not much. And we're cruising through that part now. Also that recovery. Not complete. Not complete. We have not fully recovered what we lost on that first climb. You can see that we are just now to that point where we have a slight advantage as we level off at the bottom. And then there you go. We are 6 seconds closer in a similar position to where we had been. We begin the final climb. Largely on the flat through here. And now we ramp up a little bit. No, we went to 5% there for a little bit, but we've been hovering around 1 or 2 for a while. Okay, here's where it's going to get a little steeper on this final climb. And we're definitely going to be able to push well here for Felchi. He's got a lot of energy left. I do think we saved a little too much, but you can see how we're coming back at these guys now. Pushing a lot harder than they are through here. So huge time gains or losses in the final kilometers on a stage like this. But huge time losses on that first climb. We pulled back. No, that's somebody else from a long time ago. That guy is really slow. His number was 240 something. 241. We're 161. There's Fideli that we're coming back at. Not the other guy. We're down to 2K, and we still have a little bit of energy left. So there's Modolo, 201 that we're passing. Rexco, this is what I was talking about, though. See how many guys we are flying by here in the final moment? This is where we're really gaining, and there we go. Full 99, Felchi does not lose time. But he had already lost time, so you can see we're already back to 23rd. We stay at 9:55, so we were good in that final sector. But it was the first sector where all of our time losses happened. We missed the top 20 only just, but these time gaps are just massive. Here's Solano. We're into the final, 9 riders now? Give or take, depending on who's ahead of him or behind him. He takes 11th. 24th, Gianni Mascan takes 4th. Valerio Conti. These are the best climbers now, so these guys really should be putting in good times. Not a good descender, Conti. 230 down. Here's Masnada. Conchi, final two riders. He is second quickest through the first two checks, third at the finish, and here is David Formolo and Ciccone. Formolo outside of the top 10. Ciccone, last rider on course, and he is inside the top 10, and he's going to bump us all the way down to 35th. That was not good enough for Felci. I did start way too slow and lost probably 4 minutes right off the bat. Coming out of the gates a little bit weak. Pozzovivo takes the win. DiMarchi second. Conchi third. Caruso, and then Valerio Conti fifth. Yeah, I think I definitely lost roughly half my time in the first 6 kilometers. Just trying to figure out how hard to go. Really surprised about what the level of effort there was. I mean, I knew time gaps were going to be massive here, and it really was. I loved how at the finish I passed 6-7 riders in the final kilometers. I knew that a lot of riders would blow up and lose a ton of time, and we didn't lose any time in that third sector, so that was huge. But we lost it all in the first climb, and we lost at least half of the time from the first climb just in the first few kilometers. So that was the big mistake. Not necessarily that I went at the pace I went up the climb. If we had balanced the first chunk here, maybe we would have been about 4 minutes better off. And if we're looking at time, 4 minutes better off, that puts you up into the top 20. Excuse me. That's one tough national championship out of the way. Love that, by the way. That's better climbing than you get in the Giro, really. Okay, Belgium next, 44 kilometers. Again, I don't need to send a full team to this, and Philipsen, Cassar, those guys aren't time trialists, so I'm happy to send just Evenepoel here. Evenepoel, as my top guy, though, needs a doctor alongside him, so we will send him here. We could be among the favorites. Third favorite. Okay. Again, on a +1 race day condition, looking like he is going to hit his fitness peak tomorrow, which I suppose is good. Ready for the road race. I don't know whether it's going to favor Evenepoel or Philipsen for the road race. Either way, we should be in good shape with those two guys. This one very much on the flat. What we're looking for this time, I think, is going to be what the winds are like. Just knowing how these races often go. It's a little while before we're going to be up, and let's see, map. Just 6 kilometers per hour as you go out and back. That's not bad, so it's not going to be a factor today. It looks like the finishers do come back around here near the start. That's okay. It's going to be a little while before we're up, though, so let's speed forward. Evenepoel, with a fantastic race day condition, is ready to set off. He's got a +2 today, which really is showing through with a time trial on 80, a resistance on 79. He could and should put in a fantastic time. Can he beat Campenaerts, though? That is a totally different story. Right now, at the finish, it's Thomas de Gent with a time of 56.06. That very well could change. There's Wellens, there's Van Aert already. Ian Van Aert is one of the favorites. Wellens, we haven't gotten Van Aert's time at the second check yet, but Wellens is third at the finish, so not doing great. Yves Lampaert comes in quicker, 1 second, than de Gent. All right, here comes first check, and we are right about on target. We're 3 seconds down in 4th place. There's only one rider behind me, and that's Campenarts. He's going to cross 10 seconds clear. Holy cow. There's Lampart ahead of us. We're already passing somebody. Okay. A very different number. Maybe he's at the end. There is a little bit of overlap on this course. I'm not sure how much overlap there is, but there is. I have noticed that the circuit goes around and around. I just don't know if there's a large number of laps, if it's just 2 or what it is, but that guy definitely passed him up. So 76 seems to be the right one. I've long ago noticed that on the flat, 76 seems to be your kind of generic time. Here's where we're overlapping. We are back to where the beginning is, so it looks like we're running a few laps because, well, no, that's still not a time check. As we pass somebody else there who just finished. That was the finish line. So the finish line is just in a different spot, I think. But you run X number of laps. I don't know what it is, but whatever we have. Campenarts in the lead. Lampart second. De Gent, Velens. I am 5th after the first check. We'll see how that carries over into the second check that we are now approaching. Yves Lampart is quickest here. De Gent, Van Aert, Friesen, and then Velens. I'm looking at being within 20 seconds. And we go into the lead. Of course, we still have Campenart coming. Campenart is still quickest, and he's 35 seconds ahead of me. So am I racing for second at this point? Looks like we could be. Time gaps are definitely beginning to open. Campenart's first and foremost, but then I'm 1 second clear of Lampart. I'm 14 clear of De Gent. Van Aert a little further back. Friesen, Velens, Toynes are all approaching that 30 seconds behind me point. So we'll see. Third time check as we continue to roll down the road. It's De Gent, Friesen. There's Velens. Still waiting on a few of those guys to cross the line though. So those times should start popping up here in the next little bit. There's Velens is in 3rd. Are they losing time? There's the finish, and somebody just disappearing in front of us again. Toynes comes in 4th quickest. And we're still good on our energy management. Oh, wow. We just halted on that corner. Did you see that? How long it took to round those corners? Jeez. Yves Lampart is quickest here by 23 seconds now, so he has really moved clear of those guys. Van Aert is a half minute behind, and we are 6 seconds clear of Lampart now, so we've been going the right direction throughout. Campenarts, though, 54 seconds ahead of us, so we are absolutely riding for second place now as we approach the finish line, as we are nearly a full minute behind Campenarts, who is arguably the best in the world right now in the discipline. What is his time trial ability? In 82. With a resistance of 77. So we're matching an 80-79 today. That's clearly still not enough. Good form helps. But it looks like I could lose a little bit of energy here to the end. I need to back off ever so slightly. Make sure we actually get to the finish. Van Aert comes in 4 seconds shy of De Gent. Coming up on the finish. Those other times should be rolling in here any moment. Lampart goes clear of De Gent by half a minute. We're going to make sure we get to him. We cracked. We just cracked. We have nothing left. How much do we lose? Not enough. We're still 16 seconds clear of Lampart, so that'll be good for second place. Campenarts takes the win by a minute 4, but solid second place result. I'll take that. But Campenarts, holy cow, that was quick. Evenepoel goes second quickest. No jersey for second, but it's definitely worth some points. Lampard takes third, to get fourth. Van Aert takes fifth. U.S. National Championships. It's only a 13.5 kilometer time trial with a climb at the beginning. McNulty is going to be first up. I brought 5 riders to this one. I could have brought as many as about 7 that could compete at least a little bit. McNulty is one of the better competitors in this race, but he's got a -1 race day condition. That's not going to help him. 76 should be about where we should be going, so let's try to speed things up as we head towards this climb. He's going to do well with this climb because he's got a good mountain rating comparatively to a lot of the other riders in this field. So we're going to charge through this section a little bit and see what kind of time we can gain out there. You can see how much closer we're getting to the rider ahead of us right now. Really surprised that the first rider out for us is McNulty. Garrison now heading out, and let's get him ready. He's a stronger time trialist, but not as good on the mountains, so we'll try to push him at about a 77. McNulty, this is burning a lot of energy through here. It's a Lion Murphy, but you can see just how much time he's gaining. I feel like I need to stick to it, and then we're going to have to manage the effort level later. And that's McNulty over the top, in a strong position, but also very tired at this point. So Kevin from Mark puts in the first time at a half hour. Gregory Daniel, this is the one I would have expected to go out first. I'm going to try to go a little softer at about a 76 for him. He is a 70 today, but not good on the climbs. Garrison gaining some time here on Williams. And McNulty is definitely clawing back some of that energy spent. This was the big key. Whether he'd be able to do that over a long, gradual descent, how much energy is recovered where you're riding part of the time. Well, it looks like enough as we are back into a good position as we approach the end. 4K to go for McNulty, and it's going to be a flat 4K or just ever so slightly uphill. We're at 1 degree. Barta ready to set off. Let's get him set. I think McNulty did have it about right, so we're going to try to push maybe 76 again. Garrison's still in recovery. McNulty is doing well to the end here. Final 700 meters, we're going to attack him. Into the lead for McNulty, ahead of former rider Sepp Kuss. Garrison, nearly to the bottom, has not fully recovered, so we are going to need to back off a little bit. Daniel keeping a 76, he's up over the climb. Barta is climbing at a 76. I think that 76 is going to be about right through most of this race. Garrison, yeah, you can see he's just coming back on level here towards the end. So I think we did get it about right. But for McNulty, his climbing ability meant that was the best place for him to use more energy. Garrison, better in the time trial, better on the flat. Going to run out of energy just before the end. There you go. It just tanked in the final few hundred meters. This is going to slow him down. He's going to lose a few seconds here, but he's still 4th quickest. So 76 is about right. Daniel, he's looking pretty good. Barta recovering, doing okay, and Mather ready to set off here. The 41 is his jersey. He's a 78 on the time trial today and a 72 in the mountains. Let's go ahead and push off with a 77 for him. I think he can do more than these guys. All right, Daniel coming up on the end. Final 2 kilometers. He is not at a deficit. He will be okay, I think, to get to the finish line. but only just. So a 76 kind of all the way through does level off in the end to give you what you need. And he's 7th quickest, so all 3 guys in the top 10 right now. And that's all about managing the effort. Joe Dombrowski is now 2nd quickest, ahead of Coos, Quinn, and Huffman in the top 5. Garrison's still there in 6th. Stetna, 7th. Daniel, 8th. Barta has energy to spare. We can go 77, I think, towards the end. Maybe even 78. Let's go 78 for him. And Mather, the one who matters. Mather has a really good chance of winning this jersey. As long as there aren't any unknown regens out there. Barta goes 3rd quickest, 33 seconds behind his teammate. So he slots in as Boswell also comes in 4th quickest. So Coos is now down to 5th. Garrison 8th. Daniel still inside the top 10. My slowest rider is still only 10th place. That's 4 riders all in the top 10. Mather should be pushing Daniel, if somebody else doesn't do it first, out of the top 10. Ben King quickest ahead of McNulty, a 28.41. There you go. Now we need Mather to have an exceptional finish here if we are to claim the jersey. I would love to see Mather win the jersey here. He is a time trialist specialist, but he's just good enough in climbing. You can see as we hit the bottom here, he does have a little bit of extra energy to push here to the finish. I think he could be in for a really good time. So Ben King, Robin Carpenter also going quicker. So McNulty slips to 3rd now. Bookwalter comes in 4th. Eisenhart is now 6th. A lot of new times coming in as team leaders, the top guys, approach the finish. And here we go. James Mather to the finish. And he is on top with a 28.14. Lawson Craddock, we've got 4 riders behind us. Craddock could put in a good time. He is 2nd. Chad Haga could put in a really good time. He's a 77 time trialist. When did that happen? 3rd quickest. And Joey Roskopf. Oh, there's still one more rider after him. 5th. TJ Van Garderen. Good climber and time trialist. He could have a top time here. But it's not going to top James Mather. James Mather for the win, for the jersey. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Nice. We got a national champions jersey for our team. Ahead of the big boys. Craddock goes 2nd. Haga 3rd. Van Garderen 4th. King 5th. Roskopf, Carpenter. McNulty slips all the way to 8th at the end. We are 1st as a team ahead of EF Education First. Only 6 teams with enough riders to really even constitute any sort of time there. Yeah, nice. So Barta slips to 13th, Garrison 19th, and Daniel 21st in the end. Of course, you know, the top 10 favorites were all right there at the end, so that's what pushed us backwards. But James Mather, what a result for him. The 21-year-old time trial specialist. He's only a 74, but he was in form today. Gets the job done, winning by 12 seconds over Lawson Craddock. McNulty showing why he is almost a GC contender at just 22. He's a 74 in the mountains, 71 in the time trial. He's still got some work to do to be a true GC contender, but he certainly has potential to continue that improvement. Just a few years ago, the favorite in the U.S. to become a dominant GC contender, Paulus, takes 9th. See how he's very similar to McNulty now. The former favorite, the former wonder child of the U.S., Van Garderen, never materialized into that. He did take 4th at the Tour de France quite a few years ago, but now at just 31, or now at 31, I say just because that's young to me. That's not young to the sport, though, is it? Froome wins for Great Britain. In Germany, it's Max Schachmann. We claimed USA. In the Netherlands, it's Wilco Kelderman. He was 1 second ahead of Dumoulin. We did have one rider in that competition, but he was well outside. Gaudry was way outside of the standings, so I just quick-simmed that one. Second in Belgium, very close to getting 2 jerseys. In France, it's Bardet. Pozzovivo, of course, in Italy. Spain is Soler. Marc Soler takes it. Gaudry now not at his best. A day later, and we get to the end of the month. Pre-selection of national team. Yeah, that's fine. That's first selection. I won't make that until much later. Other nations that actually didn't race, we'll get to those. So, Sadler in Ireland, Rosic in Sweden, Mahoric in Slovenia, Jungels for Luxembourg, that guy for Lithuania, Shevchenko for Kazakhstan, Estonia is Tarame, Norway is Hagen, Austria is Radovic, Philipsen is in first place, 111 points clear in the continental rankings. Super Prestige, Garfield moves up 526 places. And we are back on top of the continental rankings. Okay, so we have preparation of dossiers again, as it is now into the final month before the signing period. Oh, I'm excited for it this year. So, in the comments, I do not remember who it is that commented on this specifically, as it was about a week and a half ago when that comment came through, at least from then till recording now. Maybe it was 4 or 5 days, but it was also some big holiday in the middle of all that. Anyway, apparently you can overspend now, but you have to sign them all at once. You have to get them all to agree to it and then sign them all at once. But you can overspend. Once you've signed the deals, you can't do it anymore. Looking at the current dossiers, so Ciccone at 67% with a month to go might not get to green, but Van Barle at 82 could make it. Lutsenko just 62 and 20%. I don't think he's going to make it. So we could be looking at Dylan Van Barle classics. That actually could be really good for us. From something else that I've heard in the comments, for those who have played more seasons than I have, as you might not have stretched yourself so thin with so many different series and so many different games. Could be easier to go forward. Peterson looking good. Bookman's looking good. Case Bull maybe. 72% is a little bit light. Just 15%. He wasn't added in right away though, but these guys should have been around long enough. Ardea, just 3% to go. He'll get there. Hamilton and Conchi, maybe not. It's only been a month for them. They're already up 20%. But if you add 20% over the next month, where are we at? Yeah, we're not there. We're at 97. So they may not make it to 100%. Hershey and Hamilton might, but they might not. They have less than 20 to go, but they've only gone up 10. Also, though, it's only been once since they were added in. So we just added them last time out. This Ardea guy actually is a really good one. We just added him last time. He went up 25% right off the bat. He has no team, though. Sean Clammer, I think that would be a great pickup for us. These guys all at 100%, including our 3 teammates that we're looking to bring back. They are the weakest ones, though, compared to these guys. So there is no guarantee that I would be re-signing these guys, especially if somebody else is willing to sign for a similar dollar amount to them. That would be an upgrade. Okay, looking at the interest with only a month to go, it's really hard to take anyone outside of already existing high levels of interest. One thing I do need to take a brief look at, though, is away from this screen. I need to go to team. I need to go to youth development. And we need to see what's out there. So, João Costiado, who we are monitoring closely. He's a 66 climber with exceptional World Class 2 Grand Champion potential. Wow. Okay. Puncher, 3.5 stars. Climber, 2.5 stars. So it looks like he could become more of a puncher than a climber, though. What is he now? Yeah, very similar. But that's okay for me, because he really could become something. So we need Costiado on that list of guys on our dossiers. Bookman, I think I've already added. He's already 27, so he's not going to develop much. But at 75, he's good. Dombrowski comes back with a good evaluation, but again, already 29. Micah. Okay, Lucas Hamilton. He's still young enough to develop a bit and has high potential. Lopez, also young enough to still develop a bit. But I would be surprised if he's not commanding a huge chunk of change. Okay, there you go. Egan Bernal. Canoni, sprinter, 19. Could be, but he wouldn't help us. I think our rider for the future, the one we really need to get after, is Costiado. And not necessarily anybody else. Okay, there's Peterson, a 5 to 8. Paulos is a 5 to 8. Let's see here. He's good, or he already has a team. So I kind of wish that as riders sign, you could eliminate some of them from your list, right? So you're not seeing everyone. Alright, well anyway, Costiado is definitely the guy. We've been watching him throughout the season, and he's got extreme potential. And looking at those top ones, he's the only one who's not already pretty much there. Though Lucas Hamilton, definitely a strong target. I don't know, maybe this Canoni. But that was just a quick evaluation. That's all we've done. So we don't actually know if he's really that good. Let's go back the quicker way. Here we go, shortcut. And let's find ourselves Costiato. Or not have his name anywhere on the list. That makes sense. No Costiato. Is it because he's a youth rider and not signed anywhere that he doesn't show up? It makes it harder when it comes time to sign the actual riders because the person you're looking for isn't already on your list. It's a bit of a strange one to me. Alright, well, let's do it this way. Here's a young climber who already likes us. And I'm going to start adding some of these fillers to the team. Actually, hold on. One more thing. One more thing. We need to look at something here. I was given another clue into what actually determines whether you get promoted or not. That wasn't what I was looking at. I need this screen. And this screen. Okay, so here's what we're facing. Actually, very, very balanced. If we get our guys back, like Ooms, that'll take care of that cobble rating. So we need to make sure we still have somebody in that category. So really, I'm kind of wide open on what we would need to become better. And it's just some top quality somewhere. Somehow. I think Evenepoel and Philipsen are really going to help us maintain this. I mean, we're currently missing McNulty as our other stage racer. We're missing Ooms as our top classics guy. And that's what's bringing us down here, of course. But I think those can be recovered. So we are going to want to look for somebody who's going to strengthen something. And I think that's really just going to come down to getting one of these top guys. But unless we get somebody to 100%, it's going to be hard to sign them. And I'm not sure we're going to get there right now or not. So the best thing to do really is to go after those who already have the interest. But you can see the high 75% interest is really just coming down to 73s and below. Here's the 75s that are in that mid-range that may be somebody in here would take to it. Mike Tennyson could be a boost to us. He's punchy and cobbles. Let's go ahead and do that one. I've been looking at that name every time. I would say Millard, but he's already 30. Jansen. Could be. Let's see. And we're going to fall out of the interest range. Yeah, you get down to that 30, 50. There's no hope getting those guys in just a month. So I think we do need to focus on these 75 to 99s, even though we already drop off to a 23. So, Rajovic, okay, sure, you're just 22. What I should be doing with these latest guys is getting scouting reports on them. There we go. We have one more point remaining. Where to spend it? In terms of age, we're looking at 3 guys. Nealons, Edmondson, Ballerini. He's a breakaway specialist. We don't need that. Edmondson has no area of strength. Time trial, kind of. So I think we're looking at our punch here. Nealon's? Yes. Unless we see a 72 that's very young and exciting. And I don't. Ben Thomas. Could be. Strong time trialist that young. But I don't think I necessarily need one of those on my team. So, yeah. Nealon's. And there you go. Confirm. And now we are just 1 month away. We just finished the individual time trials. Next up will be the road races. And then we have Österreich. And that's going to take us almost all the way to the end of the month. Actually, it will take us to the end of the month. So, road races, Österreich Rundfahrt, and then it'll be the signing period. Can't wait. Oh, I really hope. I hope we could get to World Tour status. Anyway, what I was hearing in the comments, and again, sorry I can't name who gave me the comment on this, is you can actually go over. You can overspend as long as you sign them all at once after the fact. After they've already agreed to the deal. So if we get everyone to do that and then go in and agree to the deal, you can go over your salary cap. But then the only thing is you have to watch your balance. And as we finish this episode up, we'll look, how is that balance doing? Well, you can see it's going the right way. It is absolutely going the right way right now with what we are earning. Now, theoretically, as we move up by 25,000, we're going to move up by 25,000. And actually, it sounds like a little bit more. But our income versus spending in the past year is plus 200,000 over the course of half a year. So we don't race the entire year. There is a negative balance to come at the end of the year. But you would think that we could handle at least an extra 10 to 15,000 a month, right? That would only be 90,000 if it was 15 over 6 months. So I wouldn't necessarily mind going over a little bit if it's a possibility. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. Bye for now.